Nippon 49 Questions brought to you by Nippon Paint.
Hi Aishwarya.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How
Are
are
you?
you?
I'm good as well. Are you looking forward to the 49 questions today?
Yes, I am. Not been questioned in a while. So.
So let's get started. What is the best part of your day?
Best part of my day is finding the small happiness, I think, in whatever I do. Yeah. To answer your question, the first thing I do when I wake up is I do the Sahaj Samadhi meditation. So that's the best part.
That's lovely. What is the favorite thing you do when you're relaxing or to chill out?
I spend time with my friends. Like when there is no point to what I'm doing, but I'm just sitting there and talking with my friends or with my family. That is especially a happy part of my day.
What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear? Not knowing where my next cinema is coming from. That is my biggest fear.
So that's not a problem you've had in a while then.
Yeah.
What is your pet peeve?
Pet peeve? There are a lot. I get annoyed easily, but I also calm down. One is people talking very loudly in a cinema hall, or when they get phone calls and I'm watching something very interesting in the theatre, and that gets shattered for a little bit of a time. That.
What is the best gift you've ever received?
Best gift, I think, is forgiveness. Like when I didn't mess up badly, but when I messed up something and I was expecting my family to react a particular way, but instead they forgive. That I think is the best gift I've received.
That's so sweet. That's in fact the most unique answer we've received.
That I was so overwhelmed when that happened, because I was expecting them to be angry at me. Instead they were happy and they were like, it's okay, something like that.
Lovely. What is the best gift you've ever given?
I think best gift, I think, is I would say my love, my time, or because I think material things you can buy whatever, you can gift whatever material things, but the time and the effort and the love that we give is the best.
Do you recall the first time you gave an autograph?
I don't recall the first time, but when we were shooting for Gata Gusti, I remember we were in the school and the kids didn't know me at all. We were shooting in Ambasamudram, so I don't think the kids would have seen any of my films, but the short hair and the sequences that we were shooting for, and I got a little time to speak to them when I had the mic, so I was trying to entertain them because it was very hot and the kids were all standing in the sun, so I tried to be nice and have a good time with them. So then these kids came and asked me autograph. Akka autograph kodthirungla ninga in the film la they thought this was about a political leader. So they were asking me questions, asked me for autographs. So that was a very nice memory.
Have you ever had a very crazy fan encounter, a fan mail or moment?
Yes, I have. I would ask people not to do it again. I have a very dear person who really likes my work. She had my face tattooed in her back. So that was a really crazy moment. I would have asked her to do something with that time and effort, but not tattoo. That's too permanent. What if I stop working in 5 years? What will she do with the tattoo then?
She'll love you forever, but...
She'll have to now. There's no other option.
What is the last book you've read?
Last book, it's been a while. I've been reading scripts, but book, I think I've been trying to understand personalities and a little bit into psychology. So there is this book called I Hate You But Don't Leave Me. So it's a very interesting book on human personalities and psychology. So I've been trying to read that.
Have you ever read the Ponniyin Selvan book?
Yes, I have. That's the first thing I read when Mani sir called me for meeting.
Great. What is your most recent Google search?
Most recent Google search? So I was looking for dog food. So there's this vegan option for dog food. I was searching for the ingredients in it. Got it.
What is your go-to skincare remedy?
It is this, it's not an advertisement, but it has always worked for me. So it is this, this Korean skincare brand that I use. It's called a ceramide moisturizer. So anytime when I feel like my skin is flaky, especially during summers and all, I just use this as a mask, the moisturizer. I just apply a lot of it at night or whenever I feel like my skin is irritated or it is going to break out, and which is all the time.
And feel free to have your coffee. I mean.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes.
So, any TV show or series that you've binge watched recently?
Yeah. I was watching the Hindi edition of The Night Manager. So I was very upset that they had released only 4 episodes till now, but I thought it was a very well made show.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What's your current favorite song?
Current favorite. So I'm in this right now in this mode where I want to listen to songs that will pick my energy, because especially it's summer and I feel like I'll drowse any moment. So there is this song called Intima Halli, I think that's how it's pronounced, I'm not very sure, by Sadil Amjad. It's an Arabic song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's the most famous person in your contact list?
Mani sir, Mohanlal sir, Mammootty sir, Dulquer Salman. I think all of them are very, very famous. Yeah.
What do you think is the hardest thing about acting and your job?
There are a lot of hard things. But I think finding the next project that matters to you and to the audience and to our industry together, that I think is very hard for me, which is the thing that I'm facing right now. So, yes.
What is your guilty pleasure?
I watch a lot of movies repeatedly. One is The Devil Wears Prada. I don't know, I have lost count of how many times I've watched that film. The other one is Iruvar. Iruvar, there are particular scenes that I watch. Then the other guilty pleasure is just lying in bed and not getting up. It's like, yeah, the entire day goes off like that. Okay.
Yeah. What is the best advice you've ever received?
Best advice, don't sweat the small things. And everything is small at the end of the day.
One thing you cannot live without?
One thing, my dog, Bruno.
What do you consider your biggest accomplishment so far?
My biggest accomplishment is definitely getting into cinema and earning the love of audience.
Who's your most frequently dialed contact?
My mother, because she has not been answering my call last 2-3 days, so I've been dialing her like frequently and like, hello, are you there? Are you there? Yeah. So.
One thing you can never leave your house without?
Without is the phone. One thing I cannot leave my house without is the phone. Then the wallet. Yeah. Yes.
So what's your favorite thing about your hometown?
My hometown. I think every time I land there, I see how beautiful it is. It's very peaceful. It's Trivandrum, by the way, in Kerala. The beaches are beautiful. The people are lovely. It's very calm, basically. It's very peaceful. Every time I go there, I don't feel like stepping out from my house, even though there's so many beautiful things there, because it's very peaceful inside the house also.
What is your favorite cuisine?
Lebanese.
Lebanese?
Yeah.
That's a rare one.
I love all their salads and the kebabs, everything. Yeah.
What's your favorite holiday destination?
Holiday, the thing is, I've not been able to take a holiday in a long time now. But I love countries with a tropical climate. Not too cold, not too warm. But tropical means too warm, no? Yeah, normal climate. Let's say Thailand is Thailand is a place that I really like. Thailand I've been to multiple times for shoot, for vacation. Yeah, I'm waiting for my next holiday. I'm going to Azerbaijan soon. So,
what is your favorite hangout spot in Chennai?
In Chennai, it is Arepuram Sangeeta.
Arepuram Sangeeta?
Yeah.
Wow.
Arepuram Sangeeta, I go there, I order my idli, the kara chutney, the pudina chutney, I mix everything, have the idli. There is also a very similar restaurant that serves Bangalore dosas in Chennai. Eating circles I order from most of the time.
So what's the favorite thing about your house?
My house, house, it's a safe space for me, you know. After I come back from shoot or something, I come there. It gives me a lot of peace. The colors are very, it's not a big space, it's a small space. It's a bachelor pad, if I could call it. This is my space I'm talking about, not my parents' house. Yeah, I like it there. I like how I feel when I get back home.
So, what is the favorite spot or corner of your house?
Favorite corner is the living room sofa. Yeah, that's where when all my friends come in, because the sofa is tiny, it can seat only 2 people. So most of the time we end up sitting in the floor. Everything is very low lying. The table is what's it called? Low rise table. Yeah. So it's a very happy space. Ukarnu peslama?
Please.
Too much walking, too much cardio for the day. Yes. Okay.
So I'm sure there must be many, but any one special memory at your house?
Special memory, I think, yeah. So I really wanted to set up a Christmas tree because I have never set up Christmas tree when I was small, or maybe tiny Christmas tree. So I wanted to set up a big Christmas tree. So we got the Christmas tree from the market. So the entire process was very funny for me because there's a friend of mine owns a textile shop in Cochin. So I was thinking of going to a place where they sell these big ass Christmas trees and all. But he said, why are you going there? So he actually took me to the marketplace where they sell it for way cheaper. Then nobody knows who he is. So he was standing there and bargaining for the amount, and I actually got a good tree for the good rate. So I actually saw the process of, you know, how frugal you should be with money and how people who earn better, what is their process, stuff like that. It was a small learning experience as well. We had a lot of fun setting up the tree. My friend Ranju came home. So we set up the Christmas tree on 13th when Christmas was only on 25th because I was going post that for shoot. We set the Christmas tree. I wanted to go to Paris at that time. It is still, you know, I don't know when that will happen. So we got all those small balls. There was a crystal thing with Paris. So I kept that on top thinking may the dream come true. But it was a good experience. The house looked very lovely and the Christmas tree came down July of next year. Yes, that was a very beautiful memory in the house. Yes.
So I heard you say something about how the colors make you feel good.
Yes.
What color is your what is the color of your wall?
So whenever I choose colors, I try to include a lot of whites in the house. I love off-white, not pure white, off-white. But this time the designer of the house, the interior designer, he wanted to incorporate blue and he asked me for options. So this is a very this is a mixed teal blue types. So there is a lot of teal blue in my house. One wall is teal blue and there is this line wash effect, distress effect on the wall. So it is something that I was not used to as a child. But this also gives me a lot of peace. The color gives me a lot of peace when I come back home after meeting so many strange faces, so many people that we work for like 45 days and then I don't know when I'll ever meet them again in life, and I come back to this familiarity, this color that gives me a lot of peace. I don't know if it makes sense to anybody else, but it makes sense to me.
Now coming back to, you know, your movies and all that, what character that you played do you relate to the most?
So my problem is every day it is like a control alt shift delete. That's it. That deletes everything. It's like that. So all my memories go away at the end of the day, or it's like frequently deleted. But if you ask me now, which left lasting impact is playing Ammu, because there was a lot of trauma that I was going through as a person. It's like I was imitating trauma, no? We were faking trauma, so that did leave a lasting impact. So did Varathan. Varathan was one of my earlier films. This is the third film that I was shooting for. But I think for 2 weeks post Varathan, I was very distressed. Now I'm way better at handling all the emotions that come post shoot. Relatable, I think, would be Paurnami from Vijay Supuram Paurnami. That's a remake, Malayalam remake of Pelli Chootlu. I think I relate to that character a lot.
So, I mean, you've done 9 movies last year. Congrats on that, by the way.
Thank you.
which role or character has left the most lasting impact on you?
Again, Ammu left an impact on me because of the effect it had on the audience. The way people were, there were a few reviews that said the movie is not good. The second half is not, it's not relatable. There were a few men who said the movie was not relatable. The movie was on domestic abuse and it was not relatable. I understand that the second half of the movie has taken a cinematic way to, come to the culmination of the film. But whatever that was shown in the film was very, very relatable to a lot of women out there. And there was a lady who came home to meet me, to actually tell what happened in her life and how she has overcome this situation. So it's not about the box office numbers, but it's about the impact that a film has left on the audience. For that, Ammu is very, very close to my heart.
That's beautiful. So you've gotten into production, and your first production venture was Gargi.
Yeah.
What about Gargi made you feel like I want to produce this film?
I knew I couldn't do justice by acting as Gargi. I wanted it to be in the shoulders of a person who can carry it better, and I knew Sai Pallavi was the person for it. And if I couldn't be part of it as an artist, I wanted to somehow be related to it, to call the film my own, because there was a lot of me that had gone on into the film. I'm not taking ownership, but a lot of my soul, my heart, my thoughts. So maybe putting in money also seemed wise.
So one thing that you learned from Mani sir?
Mani sir, discipline. Discipline, and also there was this conversation that me and Shobita was having on the PS2 audio launch day. How do people feel when they, when they are praised every day? What does that mean, that when somebody starts thanking you on stage or somebody starts praising you again on stage, will they be affected, or will they be like, oh, yet again one more person thanking me? How do they take that? How do they So I started thinking from that day, and I noticed that sir is least affected by these things. Sir is always trying to find his next best cinema, next best script, how to do a cinema better, or more, modalities of doing something that will make the audience more involved in the cinema. So I thought that's his indulgence, that's his passion. I think I learned a lot of that, not because sir taught me anything per se, but because of the person he is and the way he lives his life.
Lovely. Who's your favorite co-star?
My favorite co-star? I think it's Madonna Sebastian. We had very, very few days to work together. It's not I don't think we did any scenes together, but it's about the impact that that person had in my life, and I love her. I love the thoughts that she has, the way she is as a woman. I think she's very classy as a person and an amazing actor. I've seen Kadalam Kadundu Pogum. I've seen the way she emotes. I've seen the way she cries. So I think it's very heart-wrenching when she starts crying on screen. It just grabs your attention.
One actor you've always wanted to work with?
Mohanlal sir, for sure. Mohanlal sir, Amitabh Bachchan sir. I really want to work with SRK. I hope that comes true someday. At least an ad. Yeah.
So you're a doctor. I mean,
Yes.
You've done your MBBS.
Yes.
How was that experience?
It was, I don't know, I'm not the same person anymore, but I think I learned a lot. I grew up as a person. There's a lot of accumulation of knowledge during that time. I think I retain only some 30-40% of it right now because I'm not using it at all. But seriously, the job that doctors do, the effort that goes into studying medicine, to retain everything in the memory, to actually practice it without killing people, without harming anybody, giving respect, and all the politics that happens in medical colleges and in hospitals. I think it's not an easy job at all. Hats off to them.
How has studying MBBS or doing your MBBS impacted your life? Do you think it's impacted the way you act or the way you approach acting?
I don't think so, but because I studied MBBS, I think as an actor, I was never desperate because I always knew acting was something I was trying at that point of time. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Oh, I wish I could have shown you the wallpaper. Now it has changed, but before it was if it comes, let it. If it goes, let it. So I think it gave me a lot of confidence that I will be here if I'm good. If I'm not good, I don't need to be here. It's fine, because MBBS, studying MBBS, being a doctor was something I liked as well. So I could always go back to it, always practice it.
So, how did you make the switch into acting, or when did you decide I want to do acting?
No, it was just a try, you know. I was not really serious about acting. I didn't know acting. I'm not claiming that I still knows to act or whatever. It was a casting call that I saw in a cafe. It said they were looking for the heroine for Niven Folly. Altaf Salim was the director, and I sent pictures. I met the director. It was a very small role, and that was my first film. Try saying that.
Could you tell us something about any upcoming projects or your future projects?
One more Tamil film that's ready for release. We are hoping June. That's with Ashok Selvan and Vasandravi. The first time I'm working with a female director, Priya ma'am. So that's also up for release. That's a rom-com. Then there is King of Kotha with Dulquer. It's directed by Abhilash Doshi, and it's a huge film. So we have been shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting. So yeah, I think we shot for 111 days by now. 101 days, yeah, something like that. I'm sorry for asking. And we are still shooting actually. I'm going to Kulu tomorrow for the shoot.
So,
yes.
As an actor, which genre do you want to try next? Which genre do you want to act in next?
I want to do comedy because I feel like I'm very comical as a person in real life, and no films have explored that side of mine. So I want to do comedy. I hope I can do it well. Then I also want to do movies. Like there was one thing that Kamal Haasan sir said during PS2 audio launch, that I've not gone for work in a long time, because right now it doesn't feel like work. Going for acting, going into a movie set doesn't feel like work for him. And every time it is, you know, it feels like a responsibility to him to find the next best cinema or the next best film to give to the audience. Because so I heard that, and I started thinking about what he was saying on the way back home, and I was thinking, because I do feel I do relate to what he said. I was very inspired by what he said. So I actually want to be part of cinema where the audience can you know, feel the emotions that you're trying to convey. I really want to see a small example. Is that okay?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So there's this movie called The Good Will Hunting, and there is a scene where you know, he is talking to his therapist, and the therapist is actually talking about his wife, and there was one act of something that she did, and you know, it was very endearing to him, and long after she has passed away, he's thinking about that and laughing, and I laughed you know, in that scene, seeing that scene, and not as an audience, as though I was involved in the scene, as though I knew him, I knew what was happening there. So I felt like I want to be part of cinema that gives that involvement to the audience. So yeah, I think that is what I'm looking for in the next cinema that I'm doing.
So you recently won the Best Actress in a Critic Role at the JFW
Yes,
Movie Awards.
yes.
How did that make you feel?
Extremely happy, because it was for a Tamil film and for Gata Gusti, that too. You know, because I feel that is important, because Gata Gusti is a very commercial film, and the role of the female is something that is, you know, a very interesting role. I'm doing a fight sequence in the film. The interval sequence has been, I have watched myself, I think it has some million views, and I think I have watched it 500,000 times. It's an interesting film to reward an actress for, you know, because it's something that's entertaining. It was supposed to be, you know, a 40 of the heroes, you know, fighting the goons and making them fly and all that. So I feel it is also, and it was not an easy job to do the entire film. It was, I mean, I'm not trying to say I did a lot, but I'm saying it was difficult for me to do. So to be rewarded for that is I was very overwhelmed that I got the award for that role.
Lovely. And so how was the preparation for Gata Kusti? I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of training and all of
Yes.
that, aside from, just acting. So
Yes.
how
yes.
was all of
the
that?
preparation actually took a long time. I had to put on weight for the role. So I think I was 52 kilos or something, and then I had to put on, I came up to 61, 62 for the filming in like a month, because we were starting with the house portions first, and they wanted me to look the part of the wrestler. Because there's dialogues like that, urukkatta madri irukke, idi appdiyada irukku, a lot of such dialogues are there. Then so that was there. That was not easy at all. I thought it would be easy, but it wasn't. A lot of working out, a lot of injuries, because I was learning Gusti at that time and working through injuries. I've heard a lot of actors have done that in the past, but I was very inspired. But there were days when I didn't want to go for shoot, and I called up Manju Harrier and asked her, Chechi, is it normal to feel this? Because the body was, revolting. Every single muscle in my back was paining, and I still actually have the effects of that injury still. But I think the audience response in theatres, the amount it collected for my producer, the way people talk to me about Kirti character, that was gift enough for me.
Great. And that brings us to almost the end. So what are your plans after the shoot?
After the shoot, I have to go purchase something for my. I'm leaving for shoot tomorrow, so it's a cold place, and right now I'm here in Chennai, and I've only got my cotton clothes, so I need to go purchase jacket.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya.
Thank you so
It was
much. I
lovely
hope I
showing.
didn't bore you.
No.